Welcome one, welcome all to Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. We got rookies, we got new names, new faces, familiar faces, and maybe a couple of you that's not been in a series in a long time, but we're happy to have back. But anyway, and yes, you're seeing right for the first time ever in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, we're going to have the first ever Gatorade Twin 125 qualifying races. The Twin 125s, as is often known. And this is going to be interesting what we're going to do here on this very race here at Daytona International Speedway. And it is 20 laps per dual race here. We're ready to set the field for the Daytona 500. This is race number 1 of the duels. And, yeah. So we switched over from the Aero 88 mod from last season to the original Cut mod. The 1996 car set is what we're doing here this season. And so we'll see what happens here. Of course, only the front row is locked for the Daytona 500. Charles Sanford, who you see in the Kodiak number 41, is on the pole for the Daytona 500 at 193 miles an hour. And he is, of course, also on the pole for today for the first race of the duels. Now, of course, if anybody but him wins the duel race, they will get a third starting position for the race here. So you'll see how the lineup comes out for the 500 and what have you. So with all that said, here let's get to the starting lineup for duel number for the Gatorade Twin 125s. Race number 1 here. Of course, Charles Sanford is on the pole. The number 41 Kodiak Chevrolet. He will be alongside the Prodigy Chevrolet car number 71. Of Cab Shearer, who had a great qualifying run for this dual race. Starting in the second row will be Chelsea Bowles in car number 77, the Jasper Engines Ford. She'll be alongside number 12, JT Bryant. He's another Ford. His car number is 12. Third row, we'll have the number 20 Texaco Haviland Ford, two-time winner last season, Keith Batson. In the Texaco Haviland Ford, car number 28, he has one of our in-car cameras in today's event, or today's dual race. He'll be alongside number 21, Jason Haywood, who won last season's Brickyard 400. He's in the Citgo Ford, car number 21. The fourth row will have car number 88, Kat Batson, who has her second in-car camera. She's in the number 88 Ford Quality Care Service Ford Credit Ford Thunderbird. She'll be flanked by the season 1 Daytona 500 champion, Johnny Gardner. His car number 16, he has the Family Channel Prime Star Ford. Batson, by the way, won last season's race at California Speedway. The fifth row will have Dylan Young in car number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. And he'll be alongside Joshua Osborne, car number 37, the Little Caesars K-March Ford. The sixth row will have car number 1, Alexander Rowe in the Hooters Pontiac, and the Pennzoil Pontiac, car number 30 of Audra Baranowskis, who is a rookie in this series, and let's see and she should make a big impact in this series for this season. And she's also a veteran in the Pizza Hut X series. Next row now we'll have Quentin Moore in car number 75, the Remington Arms Ford, driving the Morgan Shepherd colors. He'll be alongside number 11, Patrick Smith in the Lowe's Ford. He'll be alongside. Next row down, we'll have Al Lagacy, another rookie in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet car number 33. And welcoming back to the series, Ryan Acosta. He'll be in car number 10, the Tide Ford. The next row down, we'll have the 4-time champion, Jessica Shelton, who has our third in-car camera. She'll have one of our in-car cameras also for the Daytona 500, along with Kyle Matthews and Charles Sanford. She's in the McDonald's Ford car number 94. She'll be alongside number 98, the RCA Ford of Max Anderson. He's in his second returning driver in the series. Next row down, we'll have car number 29, Zachary Fitzwater in the Cartoon Network Chevrolet, and Kyle Langland, two-time winner last season, number 25, the Budweiser Chevrolet, just missed winning Rookie of the Year honors last season to Phil Parker. And starting shotgun in the last row in the first 125s, it is Ashlyn Boyd, another returning driver, won 2 races last season. He's in the Spam Ford, car number 9 for Melling Racing. Here comes the Fire the Engines for race number 1 of the Gatorade 125s.
Gentlemen, start your
So again, it is 2 races in the duels, I should say, in the Gatorade Twin 125s. We have two 20-lap races here. We'll have, of course, have 30 for the Daytona 500. And so, yeah, everybody else has been doing a Gatorade Duel race. So, yep, finally, James Qualls is hosting a duel race. Yep, for the first time in the 19 season history for this series. Oh gosh. Now that I got saved game editor, everything's been going just smoothly. Let's put it that way. So anyway, field coming off turn number 2. The pole speed was there for the Daytona 500, 193 miles per hour. We got, as we said, some new faces and rookies this season, including Al Legacy and of course Jack Legacy, who's in the second race. He'll be in the number 87 car this season. He's another rookie in this race. I'm trying to see who all else is number. I think a lot of the other drivers that's in this race are all returning drivers, but no, Audra Bauernowska. So I was going to say this: she's another rookie in this race as well. She's in number 30. As we said, she's the name you've heard a lot of in the Pizza Hut X series, and be sure to check that series out on the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel as well. But she's made an impact in that series, and she hopes to try her hand at some success in the Castrol GTX Cup Series for season 19. So we'll see what happens here. Pace car will lead them off turn number 4. And we'll head on to the start-finish line to begin the first race of the duels. Again, our in-car cameras will be carried by both the Batsons, Keith and Kat, in the 88 and 90 and 28. And the 94, Jessica Shelton, has our third camera for today's event. Green flag is out, and the first race of the Gatorade Twin 125s is underway. Speeds climbing up here, already over 170 miles per hour through the middle of 1 and 2 as the field comes off the second turn. And it's Charles Sanford jumping out in front in car number 41. In the second position goes Chelsea Bowles. And for guys like Charles Sanford and Shane Lake, who are the front row starters for Daytona 500, this will be kind of a race to kind of field their cars out for the 500 as far as drafting is concerned. And let's see what happens as they come off turn number 4 here. Chelsea Bowles leads them down. Keith Batson in the second position. Batson comes to the inside of Bowles. Bowles leads the first lap of the duels. And here comes Batson to the inside of Chelsea Bowles looking for the lead, and he's got it. On board with Keith Batson. First lap tied at 173.240 miles per hour. And that's the view from Kat Batson's in-car camera. And by the way, in case you're wondering, yes, Kat Batson was formerly Kat Tellier. By the way, as she and Keith got married over the off-season. Right now she's sliding back just a little bit here. She's right there behind Chelsea Bowles in the 33 car of Al Legacy. And you saw the peak of her just alongside. That's Jessica Shelton alongside of Batson. And the lead now being taken by Dylan Young. Second lap at 202 miles per hour. In the second place now goes car 75, Quentin Moore. He'll go to the inside of Young as they come off the fourth corner. Here they come. Side by side, Quentin Moore takes the lead here, and in the second goes Al Legacy in 33. As they'll swing him on into turn number 1 again. Legacy dives inside. He's got the inside lane for the number one position, but he's got one of the best behind him in Jessica Shelton. Riding with Shelton right now in the 94 car. Driving her customary Bill Elliott colors. As she'll dive inside, she'll take the lead from Legacy. And, of course, Shelton has won just about everything else in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Of course, a championship 4 times. Has won the Southern 500 2 seasons in a row. But of course, she'll be the first to tell you she wants that Daytona 500 really, really bad. Her best finish was a second in season 16 to Chris Dodd. And inside goes Audra Baranowskis as she goes inside for the number 1 position. And she's got it with the help of Ashlyn Boyd at number 9. Boyd was a winner twice in the series. He won the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, and he also won at New Hampshire in this series. And now inside goes Ryan Acosta, returning driver. The Acosta name going all the way back to season 1, believe it or not, in the series, when he had Ryan Acosta and his sister Jasmine racing. And of course, Jasmine, while she's not been in the series for a long, long time, she's still supporting her siblings out there. Max Anderson, number 98, goes inside. He had a horrific season 18, I should say, in the series. Looking to turn things around. Chelsea Bowles, who started race in 3rd position, she's making her way back to 3rd with Kyle Langland in 25. He'll dive inside for position as he is in he is the lone Hendrick Motorsports car in this race. The other 2 Hendrick cars, Phil Parker and Michael Whitman, are in the 2nd race, which you'll be seeing later on in this video. Yes, we'll have both races in this video to determine the lineup for the Daytona 500. And here comes Max Anderson to the inside for the lead. He's got it on Ryan Acosta as he's got Chelsea Bowles and Kyle Langland shoving him. Speed shot. Ah, yes. Gotta love that speed shot. 200 miles an hour going by, and whoa! Chelsea Bowles power move to the inside, and it looks like I think she led the lap. No, she didn't. God. Look at that margin. Came 2,000th of a second away from close to doing so. That is really, really close. But she does take the lead, but only briefly, because here comes Kyle Langland with the help of JT Bryant, number 12, and number 11 car of Patrick Smith, who's in his 2nd season of this series as well. Kev Scheer right there behind. Scheer had a so-so season 18, and he hopes to turn things around. His last win was, I think, a couple seasons back at Charlotte. I think that was his last win. Yeah, he swept Charlotte one season, and of course, his first win was in season 15 at North Wilkesboro in the Holly Farms 400. And then the season after that, he won both the races at Charlotte. Nonetheless, though, he does hope for a comeback this season here as Scheer in the 2nd season in a row driving the Dave Marcus Ghost. Last season was an Oldsmobile. This season it's a Chevrolet. But he loses position now because here comes Osborne, number 37. He is another one that's yet to get a Daytona 500 victory in this series. On side-by-side, Langland or Bryant. Who leads that lap? Bryant's going to lead that lap, number 12. And we got part of the front row right there behind, and we got the KAB cars hooked there right together. Keith Batson in 28, Jason Haywood in 21, and Kat Batson, number 88. On board with Kat Batson in car number 88. Standing right behind Jason Haywood. Haywood driving the Wood Brothers piece. And both the Batsons driving for Yates Racing. And by the way, their 4th car with Becca Tellier, she is alone in the 2nd race. She's driving a Roush Racing piece, the Roush Fenway piece, in number 16, number 6 car, I should say. And Katz goes by Jason Haywood. Now she'll go inside of her husband Keith. As Charles Sanford, number 41, he'll take the number 1 spot for the moment. Batson on the outside of the racetrack. That's Keith, whom you're riding with. And there's Kat's car, number 88. She'll go inside of Charles Stanford. Power with the inside for the number 1 spot. Side by side, Ford inside, Chevy on the outside, and Batson leads the lap at number 88. Trying to do with this car what Dale Jarrett did in this race in the 500 back in 1996. That was win the event. And here comes Alexander Rowe, number 1. He's a second season driver as well. He drove AJ Foyt's car last season with the Aero 88 mod. And now here comes the Morgan Shepherd car. So Quentin Moore. He's on the inside in number 75. The Remington Arms machine as he'll go inside of he goes inside, he goes outside the racetrack here, but here comes number 16, Johnny Gardner with help of Dylan Young. Young, of course, from right here in the state of Florida. He would like to get a 500 win himself. Johnny Gardner, he knows that feeling in the series. He won the first ever Daytona 500 in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. 8 laps to go in race number 1. Young looks to the inside. Here comes number 33. That's Al Legacy, and he's got the help from Zachary Fitzwater in 29. Speed shots of buzz here at the Daytona International Speedway. Johnny Gardner out in front, but here comes Zachary Fitzwater, the Flying Aussie, number 29. He'll dive on the inside, number 11. That's the car of Patrick Smith. He's now trying for 3rd position. He's going to try for 2nd. Now a pair of blue Ford side by side. And where did that? And here comes that 94, Jessica Shelton. Shelton moves up high. Ashlyn Boyd looks down low. On board, Jessica Shelton's car. She's in 2nd at the moment. And she gets moved up high now by the number 9 of Ashlyn Boyd. And Boyd now to his inside. Now he'll look inside of Smith's car. They're side by side now coming off the 4th corner. 5 laps to go in race number 1. And here comes Audra Baranowskis to number 30. She's going for 2nd position. She's going to get it. And here she comes for the lead in turn number 1. 98 car. That's Max Anderson. He's in this mix as well. Ryan Acosta, Kat Batson. And she's now split with her teammates that she was with together a while back. And Max Anderson, who's taking the lead in this race here, he's got the fastest lap of this race at 203.5 miles an hour. Maybe a foresight of things to come for the Daytona 500, possibly. Ryan Acosta for 2nd position. Here comes Kat Batson for 3rd, and she's going to take it. Now you got 3 Fords in the top 3 spots, but not for anymore, because here comes the Chevrolet car of Kyle Langland. Langland drove a Pontiac last season. Now he's driving Chevrolet. Number 25, the Budweiser Chevrolet out of Hendrick Motorsports. And here comes number 77. That's Chelsea Bowles. She's going for 3rd position. Kev Scheer now trying for 4th. 3 to go. And Chelsea Bowles, she'll now move in front of Shear and trying to get a little drafting help. As she goes inside, Langland's on the outside of the track here to come down the backstretch. Let's see what happens as they go into the third turn. Bowles throws it right in the passing gear to the inside. She'll move inside of Acosta. She'll take the lead for the moment. But here comes Kev Shear, number 71. Two laps to go in race number 1. Which one will get a better starting spot for the Daytona 500? As we said, if somebody else besides if someone who's not the pole server for the event wins this race, so he or she will start this race third for this race. But here comes number 12, JT Bryant to the inside. He's got Keith Batson shoving him into the third turn now, and it's going to be the white flag for next time by. We 1 lap to go. Here comes JT Bryant to the inside of Chelsea Bowles as they come down the side by side off the fourth turn. Side by side, white flag waves. 1 lap to go here at Daytona. Dandy race in this first race of the Twin 125s. Here comes Keith Batson. Here that one car of Alexander Rowe. They could be in the catbird seat to try to get a win this race. Down the backstretch, here comes Haywood. Jason Haywood, number 21 to the inside. He spoils the party for Alexander Rowe. He comes out the fourth quarter. Here comes. Does Batson make a move? Haywood on the inside. It's gonna be all she rows. They come out the fourth corner, and race number 1 of the Gatorade 2125s goes to JT Bryant. He wins at Daytona. JT Bryant wins the first Gatorade Twin 125s. Jason Haywood will go second. Third, we'll go to Keith Batson. Fourth position to the pole sitter Charles Samper, and Joshua Osborne will finish in 5th position. So race number 1 of the Gatorade Twin 125s is over. We got the inside rows for the 500 determined for this race. A fine drive by JT Bryant as he takes the victory here today, driving the Bobby Allison Motorsports colors for this event. And you see the rest of the finishing order here. Alexander Rowe will come home 6th. Al's Legacy 7th. Chelsea Bowles 8th. 9th will go to Dylan Young. And 10th will go to Kev Shearer. Then Quentin Moore, Ryan Acosta. Kat Batson was 13th. 14th will go to Kyle Langland. Johnny Gardner, Max Anderson. Zachary Fitzwater, Patrick Smith. Audra Baranowskis, Jessica Shelton, and Ashlyn Boyd, the top 20, the finishing order in today's event. So race number 1 is history. Average speed 199.622 miles per hour. As race number 2 will be coming up next here at Daytona.
Drivers, start those engines!
Back at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida for race number 2 of the Gatorade Twin 125s. Here's starting for today's running event. On the pole, it is Shane Lake, who's the outside poster over the event. Alongside him is Phil Parker, number 5. Lake is number 17. Row 2 will have have one of our in-car cameras. Kyle Matthews, number 42, the Coors Light Pontiac. And Michael Whitman, number 24, the surprise new driver of the 24 car. He's alongside. Third row will have Jonathan Zorla, number 44, and 87 of Jack Lagacy. One of the new names of this series. Another new name, Glenn Duhit, number 8 in the Circuit City Ford, is outside, I should say, of our second in-car camera, Cole Deaver, in the Dale Earnhardt colors. The next row now will have number 18. It is Paul Minnick, who won last season at Atlanta, and Jordan Lopez, number 90, another returning name in this series. Next row down, we'll have number 23 of Ryan George. He'll be alongside Joshua Collard, number 43. He's alongside. Next row down, we'll have Becca Tellier, who has our third in-car camera in today's event. She's in the Valvoline 4 car number 6, and beside her will be number 19 is Jessie Turner. Next one down, we'll have Paul William Brock, number 4, to Kodak Film Chevrolet, and number 81, Nick Baxter. Next one down, we'll have number 7. It is Mike Becker, and number 22, Dylan Poteet, the only 2-time winner in the Daytona 500. And starting shotgun will be Levi McIntyre, number 99, the Excitebrett's SKF Ford, and Preston Plord, number 15, the Hayes Modems Ford. So that's the start lineup for today's running of the second Gatorade Twin 125 qualifying races. We had a great racing season in race number 1 with JT Bryant taking the victory in that event. And who will complete the outside portion of the outside road portion of the 500? Well, we'll have to find out in 20 laps as the green flag waves as rookie Shane Lake leads him down the Parts America Chevrolet. And we're underway in race number 2. He had a lot of big names in the first race, and we had some big names in the second race as well. And some of them returning faces, and some of them are new faces in the series. Like, of course, for instance, Shane Lake. In number 40, in number 17, and number 42, that's Kyle Matthews up the gaining speed as they come down the backstretch here on board Kyle Matthews' car. And here comes number 44, Jonathan Zorlin. He's on the inside looking for the lead, and he's going to take it and turn number on the start-finish line. And he's got that black number 3, Cole Deaver, right behind him. Deaver, of course, normally out of the state of Georgia, but he lives right on the Georgia-Florida line. So he considers this kind of his home track. Really, you think him being from Georgia, he'd think his home track would be Atlanta Motor Speedway, but it's actually not. So, as they come down the backstretch here, Deaver has the number 1 spot. Here comes number 18, Paul Minnick. Looks like the scene from the 1993 Daytona 500, doesn't it, with the 18 and the 3 side by side, but Minnick will take the number 1 spot at the moment. Here comes number 23. That's Ryan George. He's switched to Ford this season. In the turn number 1, Becca Tellier running in the 3rd position. And we have a rip cam on Tellier's machine. And now we have the cockpit view from Becca's car. She's the lone KAB Enterprises car in the event, and she's driving a Roush Fenway piece. Part of that 4-car team owned by Keith Batson and his Legion of Fords, as I usually call it. And here comes number 4, William Brock. That 4-car has a pretty good history on the super speedways with either Sterling Marlin or Ernie Irvin driving it. And Brock takes that Kodak Film Chevrolet. That's the same season. That's the same team he ran for last season with as an Oldsmobile. Now switching to Chevrolet this season. Brock, of course, went winless last season, but he did have some pretty solid runs, so he's one of the guys not to be counted out to possibly win a race this season. And up the high side he goes. Now here comes Mike Becker with the help of the 99 car of Levi McIntyre, who started this race next to last year. McIntyre making his return to this season with for his team of Rockin' Wrestling Racing. 81 car, Nick Baxter making his return as well. And here's the two-time, one of the only two-time winners in Daytona 500 history. That's Dylan Poteet, the first ever champion in the Castrol GTX Cup Series back in season 1 in the MB&A Pontiac. Looking to become the first to possibly win this race 3 times in the series, and he has not won in a long time. And up to the field comes Jesse Turner, number 19. That's the Loy Allen colors for TriStar Motorsports. He's moved his way up in the top 10. Number 15, Preston Dive Bomb City Plord. In the Hayes Modems Ford, he'll above inside. He'll go underneath Poti for the lead. And here he comes inside of 81. Nick Baxter side by side now. Fast side of the race is recorded by Jesse Turner at 198 miles an hour. And here they come to the backstretch into the third turn. And Plord's going to take the number 1 spot as we're about to complete the 6th lap of the second Gatorade 125s. We had a caution free race in the very first event. Be there from the copter cam. And here comes Jesse Turner diving to the inside. He'll look inside of Plord for the lead, and he's going to take it. He's going to try to take it on the backstretch. Joshua Coward, he's a former Daytona winner himself in a 43 car. I think he's a former Daytona winner. I'm not sure, actually, to be honest. But he's run very well in this race. Jordan Lopez, another returning driver in the 90 car, the Halleck Myers Ford. That's the Jenny Dunleavy piece he's got. Back into turn number 1 they come. Here comes Lopez for that number 2 spot on Jesse Turner. And he's got that black 3 of Cole Deaver right behind him. On board, Cole Deaver's car, number 3. That GM Goodrich Chevrolet. And he's another one that's got a roof cam on his car there, along with Becca Tellier. And how you like that seam right there? The petty blue 43 and the black number 3, first and second. As Deaver's looking at the inside, looks for the lead here, and he's got Phil Parker right behind him, last season's Rookie of the Year. Not to mention, Phil also won a race last season that came in the AC Delco 400 down in Rockingham, where we'll be heading to for the second race of the season, and the third to the last as well. And he'll take the number 1 spot. Shane Lake's going to try for second position. And the number 24, a surprise driver in the 24 car, I might add, Michael Whitman, who last season drove the number 6 Strolight Ford for Roush Fenway Racing with the Aero 88 mod. Now he's going to move over to the Hendrick Motorsports camp with his teammates Phil Parker and Kyle Langland. So should be an interesting season for the Hendrick camp, and that 24 car has had some success. Actually won a championship with 2 different drivers actually for that ride there. The first was a girl by the name of Ashley Sears back in season 3, and also recently with Charles Sanford in season 15. So that 24 car has had some pretty good runs. It actually won here at Daytona before with Trent Dunham, but that was in the Pepsi 400 actually. So the 24 car has been pretty good for some drivers in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. So for Michael Whitman, you can bet he's pretty excited to have that ride for this season. Here comes number 8. That's Glenn Duhit, another new name in the series. As he's looking for the lead on Shane Lake, he's got the help from one of the best in Kyle Matthews in 42. Down the backstretch in the third turn, Zorlin now goes to third position. And we're already less than 10 laps to go here. 9 to go now in the second Gatorade Twin 125s. Duhit has the lead. Second position is Matthews. And here comes Zorlin for second position now. Number 44, that's for Phoenix Racing, the team owned by James Finch. Lake hung up on the high side, as is the 18 car, Paul Minnick. And here comes number 6, Becca Tellier. They got 2 of the drivers starting in the top 10 in the Daytona 500 with Keith Batson and Jason Haywood. Tellier hopes to join Batson and Haywood in the top 10. As it's standing right now here, Jason Haywood starts this race 5th, and Keith Batson will start this race in 7th. Tellier hoping, as we said, to join them in the top 10. She's already by the 44 Zorlin. Here she comes with William Brock in tow in number 4. And number 23 is in the lead now. That is the car of Ryan George. But here comes Tellier for the number 1 spot. As she'll go toe-to-toe with the Smokin' Joe's Ford. Oh, gosh. Who led that lap? It was the 23 car that did. That was Ryan George. And that was 200ths of a second at the start-finish line. But here comes 81 looking to try to make a 3 wide. That's the car of Nick Baxter. That's one of the Johnny Gardner's drivers. Johnny fielding Fords this season with him in a 16, Baxter in the 81, and Chelsea Bowles in 77. And Baxter's going to take the number 1 position now from the 6 car, I should say, of Tellier. Here comes Levi McIntyre, number 99. And his last win was a couple of seasons back in this series. And I think his last, came at Holly Farms 400 at North Wilkesboro in season 17. But he is the leader of the race here. Second position now is the 19 of Jesse Turner. Mike Becker trying for 3rd position. He's got that sewn up now for the moment. As here comes, and he's in 3rd position. 87 car of Jack Lagacy, one of the 2 Lagacies in the field. Al Lagacy, his teammate, Al Lagacy, of course, was in the first race back a while ago. 5 laps to go in race number 2. And it's Ford's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the moment. The Chevrolet in 4th and Jack Lagacy. But we got 4 more Fords in the top 10 with the 81, the 6, the 90, and the 23. And throw Pontiac in there now with Dylan Poteet. The season 5 and season 9 winner of the 500. Poteet out of the western part of Kentucky, making his presence felt in the top 10 now. And here comes Mike Becker for the lead on Levi McIntyre. Becker taking the number 1 spot. The 17 picking up sponsorship from QVC, one of the top home shopping networks. Don't even know why they picked up a sponsor on a NASCAR car in the first place, but okay. But nonetheless, here, Becker has the number 1 spot. Here comes number 87. That's Jack Lagacy. 3rd spot now is Jordan Lopez in 90. And Poteet's going to move up in the 4th position now at number 22. And we are closing in on the finish here. We're coming down now for 3 laps to go. Mike Becker had a win last season that came in the first stop at Talladega. That thriller of a finish over there we had over at the 2.66 mile racetrack. We'll be heading to for race number 10 of the season for the Winston 500, and also late in the season for the Die Hard 500. Ryan George looking inside. He's got Dive Bomb City, Preston Plord right behind him. And number 5, Phil Parker, Cole Beaver behind him. Got some big names in there. Paul Minnick in 18. Two laps to go in race number 1 and race number 2. The Gatorade Twin 125 has been a great race at the moment, just like we saw in the first race. And here comes Plord looking inside. Stays tucked in behind the 23 car at the moment, but here comes Phil Parker. He's going to spoil that for him here. He's got Cole Deaver behind him. In number 3, that 3 cars had some success in the Gatorade Duels. What was it? 10 years in a row that car won. We'll see if that statement holds true to form in this series. As the white flag is waving, Phil Parker takes the lead on the inside of 23. That's Ryan George. White flag is out. 1 to go. Deaver to second. Third goes 18 car. That is Paul Minnick, and Deaver looks inside. He'll take the lead in number 3. Backstretch now. What are you going to do? Minnick looks inside. Deaver gets shut up high. Here comes Minnick to the inside. Paul Minnick, number 18. Looks inside for the lead. Here they come out the 4th corner. The Chevrolet side by side. Minnick pulling ahead of Deaver to the start-finish line. And Paul Minnick wins race number 2 of the Gatorade Twin 125s. Deaver will come home second. Third position will go to Michael Whitman. Then Phil Parker in 4th, and Becca Tellier will end up in 5th position. Oh, heartbreaker for Cole Deaver. Looked like he had that 4th starting spot sewn up as he hit on the backstretch, but Minnick makes the move. But like I said, almost like kind of like a la Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt at the '93 Daytona 500 looked like. Except Jarrett's pass happened going into turn number 1, but still. But average speed 194, 634. Paul Minnick gets race number 2 of the Gatorade Twin 125s. Deaver will finish second, and we gave you the top 5 already. Kyle Matthews will come home 6th. 7th position will go to Ryan George. Preston Plord 8th. William Brock 9th. Jonathan Zorlin 10th. Lopez, Collard, Poteet, Duhit, Becker, McIntyre, Legacy, Lake, Baxter, and Turner, the finishers in this race here today. So that will do it here today at Daytona National Speedway for the Gatorade Twin 125s. Congratulations to race number 1 winner JT Bryant and race number 2 winner Paul Minnick in today's event. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We have everything on this channel in our races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for this channel. And be sure to check out Seth's series as well, the NNSCRA Hershey's Cup series, the Pizza Hut X series, and the Texler Truck series. Be sure to check those races out, and you will not regret it. It's some of the best offline racing you will find. Hey, that's what the slogan is for this series as well. So for now, the lineup is now set for the Daytona 500 for the Castrol GTX Cup series, and for now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.